Leeds United, the next club in my kind of makeshift rebuild series weekly. Welcome back, guys, to the MWS channel, and today we're going to see with another experiment if we can get Leeds into Europe. Unlike the Celtic one, this is not winning the Premier League. I think that is, no offence to the Leeds fans, very unrealistic in their first season back in the Premier League, with the big hitters, of course, the likes of Leicester, not even Leicester, Liverpool, Man City. They're the ones most likely to win it, and the budget of 14 million not being quite as much as I imagine Leeds to have, being a bit of a difficult factor. But also, everyone thought when they go up, are they going to be relegated or are they going to fight for Europe? So today we want to go for the latter. We want to try and change Leeds United from kind of a little bit up from where they are in real life and try and get them into Europe, whether that be the Europa League or Champions League. If we win the league as well, it's not the objective, but I will take it. So without further ado, let's see what we can do with Leeds United. But also, we can make a little bit of money in this pre-season tournament to up it to 21 million, which I would very much like, as the Leeds United lineup, I think in real life, is quality enough to get into that Europa League. But in this game, it doesn't look the best. Of course, we've got some good players, Rodrigo and Rafinha, though they're only players over 80 rated. We've got work to do, as this is the team I am going to make for the Leeds United default one. I mean, it's of course the highest rated, but not really the best, I would consider. I do like Cooper in the defence, but I've gone with Koch and Llorente, as we probably first and foremost need maybe a CDM. And although I rate Patrick Bamford highly, if we're going to get into the Europa League in FIFA, I think we need a more consistent striker. Could, of course, use Rodrigo, though, as I'm going to add a youth player to the squad straight away, Blake Walker. I'm not really going to get a chance to use youth, I don't think, in this series, but 69 rated could actually be a bench player if, of course, we sell loads of people, which I hope to do, then players that aren't going to play, so we can bring in some big quality signings. And I have put players out to get scouted as well. I had a little list together already before I started this series to see how we are going to do, as we'll get on with the pre-season tournament as well, see how we do in that one, hopefully progress and get a bit more money. And then, of course, we'll go with the usual signings, 10 games in, halfway through, transfer window end. I've got a first offer in here for a player I actually didn't list on the transfer list, but 18-year-old, 67 rated, I don't think is going to get used in this rebuild. We've even got a better player through the academy already, so Crescencio Somerville will go to Torino. Bit of a stutter there, as well as Levante wanting a loan to buy for Poveda. We've only got 1 year, so loan to buys aren't really going to get used in this series because, of course, we've only got 1 season, so they're not really going to leave. If they do leave, it's going to be permanent. As this is the first game, I'll show you how it goes. Can we beat Hertha Berlin? I expect us to kind of put up a fight, but no, beaten 3-1 by the Germans. That ain't good for his first game, as we've got an offer straight in afterwards as well from Bilbao for Liam Cooper. This one's 5 million. I'm going to try and get a little bit more because, of course, we could do with money. And since he isn't going to play, I think 7 million, which we have got out of the Bilbao manager, is a very good deal. And straight after it as well, Burnley after Alioski. I will accept that one. Decent player in real life, a bench, half rotational starting kind of player. I don't mind him, but of course he's going to leave right there for just under 2.5 million, which isn't the best of money, but I think is going to be enough, as we aren't doing well in pre-season as well. I think it's time to start the signings. But before that, of course, we've got another offer in here. 33-year-old Kiko Casilla. Don't really want him, so I'll let him go to Cotrone, as after a lot of messing around with the transfer budget, we have to go in for our first player here, and you will see in a minute. It's Raul Albiol of, I think it's Villarreal, I'm pretty sure it is, with Unai Emery at the helm, so we should get this guy for cheap. He is quite old, but high rated, and can go with Llorente at the back, as they're gonna want more for him. I'm gonna try and get around 10 million, which I think is just about right for the 34-year-old, and they won't accept it. Okay, we're struggling a little bit for this guy, but I do want to bring him in. A solid name at the back. 11 million will do. And he wants a very, very high wage, but we will accept it. Don't care about them, as Raul Albiol is going to be a crucial defender for us. It might be a sore sight for Leeds United faithful, but I'm going to try and get rid of him right here. Pablo Hernandez, maybe a good bench player, but I just desperately need the wages freeing up, and of course the money, so we will accept that offer from PSV. And as you can see here, Alioski has left us Forshaw. We've got 1.3 million offering for him. That's That's more than Pablo Hernandez, which is weird, but we will accept no plans for him at all. And we will also accept a bid from Sheffield United. Bit of a rivalry there, but we'll accept it as a bid in for Getao Berardi. See you later. Now, I want to go in for my second signing right here. I think we need a bit of quality in that midfield. Of course, it was the priority. Click. Decent player in real life, but he will probably go onto the bench as one of the only bench players I'm not going to sell. Gambling fully on the first team to get into Europa League this season with Leeds United. So, Renato Augusto. Going to probably cost us an arm and a leg as well, as 25 million doesn't leave as much in the wage pile. So we'll go for 24. I don't think he'll accept that wage as well, but let's try and squeeze it in, as maybe we could get a transfer offer in the meantime, because we do need to desperately get a player out to get a player in right there. As we've got another offer in for Cooper here. Must have broke down the first time round. We will just accept 5 million. We need the money as soon as possible. As finally, Forshaw has gone, and we've got a bid in for Bamford, but before that, I'm going to try and get Renato Augusto over the line. As here we have it, another old boy. Please accept 40k as a wage. As why are you walking away from that? There's something wrong with you. It's 20k extra than what you were on. So that signing's fallen through. As we've got a bid in for Bamford, I'll try and squeeze more out of it. And nope, they're not having it. And instead of Renato, you can see the wage budget is all the way down. This is the transfer one, but we have signed someone which hopefully you Leeds fans, if you are watching, will of course love. 22 million right there. You can see it on the side. Come on, graphic. Load up, as there we have it. Rodrigo de Paul has joined Leeds United. It's just like maybe real life if it happens in the future. As yet, he's going to be the midfielder, 79 rated from Udinese. And he is going to sit in the midfield, of course, as we've only made 2 signings in this rebuild so far. Not the best, but the team has changed up a lot. The lowest rated now are the fullbacks and goalkeeper, which does worry me a little bit in simulated games. So I am a big fan of Ilya Meslier, but maybe I might have to go. However, we might be able to get something else over the line, as we've had an offer here. It's Ashley Barnes from Burnley, plus 4.2 million. I am going to reject that. I feel like if we are going to get a striker to go to Europe, I don't think that's going to be Ashley Barnes. And now it's West Ham after Pablo Hernandez. We'll accept that one, as Cooper does leave the club. The captain to go for 5 million, and as Hoffenheim want Bamford, again another team going in for him. I have to negotiate it. And nope, they're not having it. 15 million, it's only 2 million more. As we get 2 more offers in right here, we've got one for Click. It's a player swap. No, don't need a backup centre-back, as Robert Koch has a big bid in from, that's Mönchengladbach, isn't it? But we could get more for him. So I am going to try and negotiate. It's above its value anyway, but can we get 24.5 million? No, we can't, but 19 still is very, very decent for this guy. Can we up it to maybe 23? I think that's a suitable addition. As 20 million, we will settle for that. Oh, and a bid in here for his youth player. It's 4.6 million for Blake Walker, you know. I did have big things for him, but we need cash more than ever. As finally, I'd say we've got enough to go in for the next guy I want to sign. We do need a decent striker, if of course we're going to threaten to get to that Europa League spot. And Cedric Bakambu from the Chinese League, I think will do fine. As we should agree for him here, giving him a hefty wage just to make sure he signs us this game. 65k a week I offered Bakambu. We got him on a 16 million deal as well. Perfect, everything. And he walks away on that. And I don't know if we're going to get another player in, because all the bids are breaking down before we go into this season. Pascal Struijk, just go out of the club. Give us a bit more money and a bit more time to try and actually sign a player once a scout report comes in. So it's Wolverhampton on the first day in the Premier League. Of course, Simmet. Also a team I'd say you expect to try and threaten a little bit for the Europa League, although it hasn't gone to plan this season, as we'll go with us full strength, of course. Still not fully strengthened. I think there's more signings to be made against a good Wolverhampton lineup on paper. Can we get a result? We don't. It's Pedro Neto who gets a late goal off the bench to sink us in the first game, and that isn't the best start we could have. I think after that one, it's back to the drawing board in terms of signings, close to the relegation zone. It's only been 1 game though. It's only been 1 game. And in my last attempt to try and get a striker, I'm going for this guy, Andreas Kramaric of Hoffenheim. As it's going to be 30 million agreed, and it's going to be a lot of money demanded from this guy. Look at them, 100k once a week, but I am going to accept that one. Definitely want him through the door, and let's kick on, as now I think we've got his first team. And of course, I think it's mostly tired, and the wing backs or full backs are probably what we need to improve in January, or Meslier, of course. But I think the rest of the team looks capable of trying to go for the Europa League. And without further ado, I think, yes, I am unfortunately not going to show you Chelsea. I am going to skip till the end of the transfer window, though, and see if we get any offers in. Like that one, Norwich hopefully take Berardi off his hands. But I don't think there's any more signings from me. And I think I'll next see you 10 games in. And we are 10 games in, as it looks decent, doesn't it? West Brom and Burnley have been won, and Man City, of course, just lost. But if we go back and look at the months, there's one win there. The month before, there is 0 wins, even lost in the Cup to Nottingham Forest. So I don't know where we are in the league. I have just simulated it on the calendar as we sit 13th. Okay, we'll have a further look in. Of course, we're not at January yet, but we have got some transfer offers in. As how far are we off 7th? We are 5 points off, so it is a bit of an open league. Arsenal are just above us still. I mean, Sheffield United's down there. Love to see that. As, yeah, it looks still quite open. Fulham doing decent as well. Everton dropping out. Man United in that 7th spot. We need to try and challenge really quick, of course, out of the Carabao Cup as well to Nottingham Forest, which would have got us into Europe. We'll probably have to do it the hard way, as we do have some offers in right here. Like I said, Mateusz Klich to Crystal Palace, I'll accept. Walker to Swansea for 5 million, I will accept as well. As, yeah, Berardi just won't leave. We'll accept that one on top of it. Hopefully have a bit of money for January. So we've got absolutely none of it at the moment. As the team, let's have a look at the ratings. Still mostly the same. Albiol is dropping like a stone though. Now 80 rated and hasn't got much pace, but Rafinha, Phillips and DePaul going up. Kramaric looks alright up front. I don't know how many goals he has, but we'll have to wait and see for after January, because that is where we're going right now. And here we are arriving at the start of the month as we have Crawley, the team that knocked Leeds United out in the Carabao Cup in real life, so not the best. As speaking of not the best, it's the same again. 2 wins, but 5 without a win right there in that month. Not very good. An undefeated or an unwinnable month as well in November. And then we got a 1-1 draw with Fulham, as I last left you off. It's not very good, I don't think, at all, as we want to see the league as well. And hopefully this month make some big signings. Definitely need to try and change something up. I was worried about the goalkeeping spot, as we are 15th in the league, 20 points. We are only 4 off relegation, to be fair, as 36 is what Leicester are on in 7th. It's a big chase. It is a very big chase, but we're going to try and shut it down as much as we can. This may be the second rebuild failed in a row. And I think we're going to go ahead and bring in a goalkeeper for a big fee right here of £1. Gianluigi Buffon is going to team up with Marcelo Bielsa as we start our January transfer window immediately with a signing. We need improvements. Probably in the long term, yeah, isn't an improvement. It's going to go all the way down, is Buffon. Probably start right now going down in rating, but still, we need him because, of course, we need to get the ratings up, as I think I'm going to sell Meslier as well. A lot of demotivated players as well. I'm guessing that's by our league position. I've been doing contracts whilst I've been going on, so they're all alright on them. As yeah, I think the next position has to be a wing back as well. We've got to get to it. And also a big game here for the Leeds United fans, as we have Man United in 3rd. They've improved since the 10 games in that we did. So we're in 7th, where we're aiming to get, as we've got Buffon. It's a new era. Got the new goalkeeper, so please, let's try and get a result against the Red Devils. If not, it's going to be dodgy, and of course they get it late on, as that is just difficult. It's going to be very difficult to make up space, but we've got January to try and make more signings, and then we'll go to the end of the season. To be fair, guys, I don't actually know if we are going to be able to sign another guy. Look at the money we've got. We've got 7.7 million and 10k. I don't think it's enough. We've got 1 quality goalkeeper in. We'll trust Dallas and Aylin, experienced at Leeds for quite a while. And we will go towards the end of the season right now and see how we've done. So let's have a look how we've done, shall we? We've got a 1-0 win against Southampton and a cup win against City. Actually 3 on the bounce in that month. Not too bad. I mean, Buffon's definitely made a difference because we beat West Ham and we got a draw right there. Not an unbeaten month for us, but still, we beat Fulham in the cup, but then lost to Wolves, beat Arsenal in the league, pretty decent. Then we got 3 wins right there, but City and Liverpool back-to-back wasn't very kind to us, as then we actually had an undefeated month for the last one. Crystal Palace, Chelsea being draws, and Wolves being a win, as I don't know if it is enough for the Europa League. It isn't, as we finish 11th in the league. Still, a very good finish for Leeds United. I think very realistic of real life as well. I think they might finish there as Sheffield United, Southampton and West Brom go down. And who did finish there? It was Arsenal, who we ended up beating. We were 10 points behind. So, like the Celtic career mode last week, we do not pass this one, but still, it's been a blast doing it. Made a couple of signings at Leeds United and, of course, had a bit of a challenge. Next week, I think we've got to try and make it a little bit easier, though, because these ones haven't actually gone to plan. Maybe I stick the transfers on loose. Maybe I do give us a bit of a financial benefit, but it's up to you guys completely. As unfortunately, guys, this is the end of this episode. Like, comment, share, and subscribe if you've enjoyed this little rebuild. Of course, suggest which you want to come after this one if you have an idea for a rebuild or your team that you support. I will do any of them, as thank you guys a bunch. I will see you later. Take care, in a bit, and peace. See you at the Grimsby video tomorrow.